Hi, my name is Sophornia Davis. I'm the author of Bruised but Not Broken, Daddy's Damaged Daughter, and it's a book about my life and how I've overcome tragedy, pain, domestic abuse, and among other things. And I'm just honored today to be able to be here and minister to other women about the effects of domestic abuse. And also, if you would like to purchase this book, you can go on barnesandnobles.com and it is there. And if you would like to reach out, my contact information is sdaviscoaching@gmail.com. I guarantee you this book will bless your life. One of the things I want to say is Miss Deborah, I met her about a month ago, found out that we were cousins, and it's just a wonderful blessing to meet your family after so many years, and we instantly had a bond when I met her, and she told me about her foundation, and I said, you know, whatever I can do to help with your foundation, anything that I can do. I'm a new author, just recently published in September. And with that, you know, God gave me a ministry for women, a heart for women. And I said, whatever God will have me to do, I will do it. And not long, I was 1 week away from my book signing event when I met her. And God would say, this is your next assignment. And I'm like, well, I haven't even had my book signing yet. The book not even off the presses yet. And God showed me, he said, I'm about to propel you to a different place in your life. And he said, so when assignments come, I want you to be ready. And so when this assignment came, I said, okay, Lord, I'm there. Whatever you have me to do. When I first started writing this book, it started out as just a memoir of, you know, a broken daughter. And I say broken, but I was really just bruised. Bruised in a way that when my father and my mother got a divorce, my dad divorced my brother and I. And I was just telling a young lady earlier about we would go to holidays at my grandparents' house and we would see my dad and he would just ignore that we were even there. Wouldn't even acknowledge us. Or he would get his family, pack up and leave because being in the room with us for whatever reason gave him this certain feeling. And God showed me through that I dealt with rejection for a long time in my life. Rejection from friends, rejection from family members. I dealt with that for so long. I would always second guess myself. God gave me a big voice, but it was stifled for so many years because I felt like nobody wants to hear what I have to say. I'm not worthy of the type of love that God says that I should be worthy of. I didn't believe that. And so sitting down, writing this out actually was a huge release for me. It was a huge, you know, sigh of, you know what, no matter, despite, we don't pick our family. We do not pick our family. But the people that are in our lives are there for a reason. And some are there for a season. And even if it's your parents, if they're there for a season, there's a testimony in that. In the book, I talk about almost losing my husband twice, actually. The first time, he was a millimeter from being paralyzed from the neck down. A millimeter. If you could think about how small a millimeter is. Then, almost losing my oldest son to police violence, to police almost killing my son. I was able to see the tape. I was able to see how my son, the fear in his eyes when he was running from this police officer that was hunting him down like an animal. My youngest son, when he drowned, and he died. But guess what? God was there. The ambulance was already there for something else, a little minor accident. They were able to bring my son back. And so when I tell you, if you continue to believe and trust in God's will, his power, I'm telling you, he will bring you to the other side. So all of these things that I dealt with and the things that I went through, and God still bringing me through that and being able to trust him and believe him. He's my father. Yes. He's my father. He sent people along the way that touched my life. He sent me a wonderful husband. When I met this man, people told me he don't want you because you got 2 kids And you got 2 different daddies for those kids. No man wants a woman like that. Well, here we are 18 years later. 18 years later. No man can change what God puts together. No man.
Amen.
So I say to you today, I want to encourage you. I know my cousin is dealing with a situation that happened to her this week. But I want you to know that God has you. God has you. He has your family. And I want you to know that you just keep on holding on to Him and keep trusting Him, because He's going to heal that pain. I know it's new and it's you know, ever present right now, but God is going to, He's going to heal that pain. It's something we were never prepared for, but you just keep trusting Him. And then I want to say thank you to Dr. Marcia for coming. She is my prayer warrior, my spiritual mother. I met her 2 years ago, and she is such a wonderful spirit. When I met her, I still had that whole issue of, am I going to be rejected? So I kind of pulled back a little bit the first time I met her, but then her spirit kept pulling my spirit, and she was like, baby, come on. And so now, this is my spiritual mother. And one of the things is, she also published a book, Just Pray About It. And so when I read her book, that propelled me to finish my book, because I was stuck. And I just want to thank both of these ladies for being here and getting behind me and having me partner with them. And I just thank you, Deborah, because we met for one day. And the Lord already put us together. So I just praise you, and I thank you for even thinking about this event, you know, for domestic violence. And so I just, you know, the people that have gone through it, I just say a special prayer for them, because I know it's not easy. I'm going to read a little excerpt from my book regarding domestic violence. And just to kind of tell you where I was coming from with this. My brother and I used to spend our summers with my Uncle Jerry and Aunt Kim. One summer, I did what typical teenagers do. I tested the rules set by my family. In fact, I disobeyed my uncle and used his expensive video equipment without permission. My uncle lived out of town in Houston, and when I arrived home one weekend before school started, he called my mother to tell her about the incident. My mother proceeded to reprimand me for using my uncle's equipment, and she was fussing at me, and I tried to explain. As I started to explain, my stepfather became enraged. I was in the middle of 2 rather upset parents. However, my stepfather's anger was frightening, far beyond an upset or disappointed parent. I started to walk towards my room, assuming I would escape the volatile situation and we would all cool off in a few minutes. As I walked toward my room, my stepfather caught up to me and swiftly punched me in the center of my face. His punch knocked me out unconscious, and I woke up to a bloody, swollen face with bloodshot eyes. My mother was terrified, crouching to protect me from further hits, while my brother tried to fend my stepfather off with a baseball bat. I regained consciousness and escaped to my room and locked the door. My stepfather left the house, and I could hear my mother and brother sobbing. My face looked like I had been in a head-on collision, and that is exactly what I told my friends and counselors at school on the first day. On the first day of school, I wore sunglasses to cover my bruise. By the time lunch rolled around, I was called to the counselor's office and questioned by a detective. I hit my head on the windshield during a car accident, I explained, assuming they bought the story, but I could not have been more wrong. Ultimately, my lie was detected, and the truth behind our family situation unfolded. Ultimately, our family was mandated to attend regular counseling sessions and anger management classes. Although those bruises may have faded, the memory is ever sharp in my memory, and I still wear a bruise in one of my eyes where every once in a while I can see where I have come from and what I've been delivered from. So I say that to say that not only does domestic violence affect the person that's going through it, because every weekend he would be abusive to my mother, it starts to affect the children that are involved, the other family members that are involved. And so I say that to say, you know, I'm so happy for women, empowering women, because she's helped so many women come out of situations like this. And I'm gonna tell you, it's scary because you don't know where to go and what to do when you're in that situation. It's not only physical, it's mental. And so people always say, oh, well, she could just leave. Why don't she just get her stuff? But if you've worked your whole life to build a home and you know, all your money is tied up with this person, it's not that simple. It's not always that simple for that person when they're going through. When you're mentally beat down, there's always not just an escape, oh, just walk out the door and leave. So I just thank you all today for being here and in support of this, because like she said, there are so many people that suffer from this just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that we don't hear about, but we want to be able to reach them and help them. So, all righty, thank you all.